Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, Executive Editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs number 93. And we're continuing our cycle devoted to the symphonies of Charles Tournemire, the French composer that nobody cares about, but we should. He wrote 8 unbelievably cool symphonies. He was not actually, when you get right down to it, a melodist. His style was rather different. It was contrapuntal, sort of, kind of. He was an organist. He was one of those organist guys. And so it sounds often freely improvisational. The style is often Frankian, that is full of chromatic sludge. Remember, we just did a talk on chromatic sludge, chromatic harmony. Actually, it's not sludgy at all. His harmony is really very, very clear and crisp. But it can be a little bit hard to grasp at first. The orchestration is amazingly colorful, very satisfyingly symphonic. His use of all of the instruments is quite meaningful. I mean, nobody wrote better for harps. His harp writing in the orchestra is glorious. So anyway, in this particular program, we're talking about his 5th symphony. And as with all these programs, you are never going to hear it live. This is something you can play for yourself at home or for your friends, and you'll really get a lot of enjoyment out of them, I'm absolutely sure. And this particular program has some standard stuff and some unusual stuff. The standard stuff in the first half is the big concerto, Beethoven's Emperor Concerto. I think it's significant that we waited until program number 93 to get to the Emperor Concerto. You think that would have happened right up front, but no. We're trying to do things a little bit more interestingly, I think. But I think because the Tournemire is a 38-minute, 40-minute long major romantic style symphony, but it's totally unknown and maybe a little hard to grasp at first. It's good to have something really, really, really popular in the program, even if everybody leaves at intermission, but I don't think they will, because it's just his Symphony No. 5. I mean, it's a 5th symphony. What could be intimidating about that? I mean, So anyway, find a great soloist, do the Emperor Concerto. Lead off with Dvořák's American Suite. No one ever plays that either. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's Dvořák. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Has amazing tunes, absolutely luscious, beautiful tunes. It's short. It's 20 some odd minutes long. It makes a wonderful concert opener, and it's just delightful to hear. People ought to have a chance to hear it once in a while. Then there's intermission. We all come back for the Tournemire, which is written for a big orchestra. It has 3 large, generous movements. The first is marked chorale variée, variations on a chorale, which it really kind of is not, actually. What it is there's a chorale, and it comes back a few times, and in between it just gets developed. It actually has a fairly clear sonata-style type recapitulation, and it's just marvelous. It's a work in 2 tempos. It basically goes slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, sort of, and it's quite memorable. The actual chorale tune has a second phrase that's quite Russian sounding. It sounds a little bit like the Song of the Volga Boatman, or like Tournemire's own 3rd symphony, which evokes the liturgical music and the bells of Moscow. So it's really a very, very haunting and beautiful work. And the next movement, the second movement, is marked pastoral, and that's what it is. And it rises to just a luminously beautiful climax. It really is quite sexy. And then the finale is the closest Tournemire ever got to being funny, lighthearted, amusing. He's a very serious guy, very serious composer, very spiritual composer, almost like a French Bruckner in some ways. Also in his somewhat limited emotional range. The music is always serious. It always has a certain spiritual quality, a grave beauty, if you want to call it that. But this finale is pretty jolly. It's light and it's effervescent and it's luminously scored, and it takes the symphony to a delightfully buoyant climax in F major. It's really quite lovely. And so I think this is a symphony that really could earn the composer some serious friends. It was his most played symphony in his lifetime, which isn't saying very much, but it's a terrific work. And I think this program will give you a lot of pleasure if you give it a shot in the order indicated with an intermission. Go have dinner, have a snack, go to the bathroom, take a shower, whatever. It's lovely stuff. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.